With the authority of the Council, I shall now confer 2 degrees of Doctor of the University.
It's a great day for us because Chancellor, the Council of the University has resolved to award today a 2nd degree of Doctor of the University to Mr. Michael Lynagh, AM. Michael Lynagh was born in Brisbane in 1963. He was educated at St Joseph's College and Gregory Terrace in Brisbane, and he studied human movements at the University of Queensland. Michael's interest in sport began early during his school years. Although initially he played Queensland schoolboy cricket, his, this is a quote, touch of genius, unquote, in the game of rugby was recognised by the Gregory Terrace first 15 coach Lester Hampson, who chose him for the 1979 side. He became an Australian schoolboy representative and also a member of the Australian under-21 team. During his membership of the University of Queensland club, his team won 3 Brisbane club premierships. As a member of the Queensland rugby team from 1982 to 1995, Michael played 100 games and scored a record 1,166 points. He served as team captain from 1988. Michael Lynagh made his international Test debut in Fiji in 1984 and rose to become one of Australia's greatest rugby players. Michael played 72 Test matches with the Wallabies, scoring 911 points. He played in all of Australia's World Cup games between 1987 and 1991. He was vice-captain in 1991 when the Wallabies won the World Cup, and he served as the captain of the Australian rugby team in 1987 and again from 1992 to 1995. During his rugby career, Michael Lynagh was considered the best 5'8" in world rugby, and he established a record as the most successful point scorer in Australian rugby test history. His skills in playing a shrewd tactical game were highly respected. Michael Lynagh retired from international rugby at the age of 31 in 1995 as a highly respected sportsperson. The Australian Rugby Union chair at the time, Leo Williams, said, "He has been monumental. He leaves the game a gentleman. He is a credit to the game." Michael Lynagh continued to play for Queensland and Benetton Treviso in Italy. During his time with Treviso, the team won the Italian Championship in 1992 and were runners-up on 3 occasions. From 1995 to 98, Michael was a player with the English Saracens Rugby Club, which won the Tetley Bitter Cup in 1998. As well as his outstanding achievements on the field, Michael has been committed to putting something back into sport he loved by helping younger players reach their full potential. Michael's outstanding achievements are not restricted to sport. After his retirement from rugby, he continued to focus on his business career. Since 1986, he's been involved in the area of property investment and leasing and worked with property consultant companies such as Richard Ellis, Lewis and Partners in Australia and Pressbury Investments in London. From 1989 to 1992, Michael served as Queensland manager of Ropt Jones Investment and was responsible for the management, sale, leasing, development of a whole range of property with a value of around 110 million Australian dollars and a gross income approaching 10 million Australian dollars per year. Since 1991, he's been director of a private property investment company in Australia specialising in small residential projects on the East Coast. Michael Lynagh's interest in sport continued in his role as a sports journalist. Since 1998, he's been a rugby commentator with B Sky B and is involved in live broadcasts and studio magazine-style programs. In 1999, he was part of the ITV Rugby World Cup commentary team. From 1998 to 1999, he was rugby feature writer for the Times newspaper and remains a columnist for Planet Rugby website. He's currently a member of the International Rugby Board. Michael Lynagh received recognition by the Order of Australia for services to rugby football in 1996 and was inducted into the Rugby Hall of Fame in 2001. it's fitting that Griffith University should honour Michael Patrick Thomas Lynagh, AM, in recognition of his distinguished service to sport and to the community. Chancellor, it is with the greatest pleasure that I present to you Michael Lynagh, AM, for admission to the degree of Doctor of the University.
I'd now like to call upon Michael Lynagh, AM, Doctor of the University, to deliver the occasional address.
The Chancellor of Griffith University, Ms Ford, Vice-Chancellor Professor Davis, members of the University Council and the University faculty, and most importantly, for today is your day, graduates of Griffith University, your family and friends, and ladies and gentlemen. I must say that this presentation to me of the university's highest award is indeed amongst the most significant honours afforded me. Frankly, I find it hard to believe this distinguished university sees fit to confer an honorary doctorate on me, a now well-retired has-been rugby player. I'm deeply touched. I feel very humbled to be here in such academic company and to be sharing the day with you in your celebrations. I'm indeed honoured, and I make a commitment to you that I will wear the honour with dignity and respect, and where I can, will support and promote the very many virtues of Griffith University. I thank you for this honour. From the outset, I wish to acknowledge and congratulate you, the graduates. I recognise that the route you took in arriving here today and the one I followed in landing me here with you were vastly different. Yours was one of books, journals, computers, libraries, lectures, tutes, assignments, exams, and yes, probably a few celebratory drinks along the way. While mine involved footballs, gymnasiums, training tracks, planes, hotel rooms, teammates, test matches, World Cups, and yes, also a few celebratory drinks along the way. Despite these differences, my understanding is that in the process of getting here today, we have more in common than first meets the eye. You see, achievement is a process that has a structure that is similar across all pursuits, a process that typically starts with a dream. I imagine your dream mostly was one of being here today and having that all-important parchment in your hand, launching you into a world of work and the rest of your life well educated and well equipped to deal with what is ahead of you. My dream, well, it was a little simpler, of becoming the best, the most skillful fly half I could be, and playing for my country and having a long international rugby playing career. Our dreams are our lives, and without a dream, a vision, a mission, we are without direction. We don't know where we are going, and therefore we don't know when we get there. The way I see it, high achievement starts with a commitment to, a desire and a passion for a dream, a goal. Dreams and goals give us direction, commitment, desire and passion energises our behaviour in the direction of the goal. Add persistence, self-belief, and you have a simple formula, but one which I believe is the essence of the process of success. Just changing speed a little bit now. This is not my first involvement with university. It was mentioned that I have been at University of Queensland studying human movements. And one of my fondest memories of the course was that of Professor Max Howell, a rugby devotee, if ever you have seen one. I recall during the course of touring France with the Wallabies, Professor Howell allowed me to do a term assignment while on tour. It involved several trips to the Louvre Museum in Paris to study sport in ancient society. I basically had to take pictures of all the artefacts that were present in the museum that depicted ancient sport, collate them and write about them and research them. Not the most demanding of assignments, I'll agree, but probably the one that I enjoyed the most and learnt the most from, as I was actually able to see these artefacts firsthand and in some cases touch them and not have to look at them in some picture book. I received a major distinction for my work. Given this, I thought it would be a good idea to request Professor Howell if I could do all my assignments in field, but it wasn't encouraged, unfortunately. In more recent times, I was invited to Oxford University to deliver an address in the famous Student Union building. Me, a rugby player from the colonies, invited to address the Oxford Union. The previous two speakers in the months leading up to my engagement, the first one was O.J. Simpson. A month later, don't know whether this is uphill or downhill, Jerry Springer addressed the Union. And then there was me. I don't know who came after me, but the company I keep. Of course, there's been a lot more impressive speakers at the Oxford Union, and names such as Kissinger, Mandela, Kennedy and Churchill come rapidly to mind. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me as we were taken through the whole university and given a glimpse of what life at Oxford is all about. The experience was awesome, a highlight of my university life, and I urge any of you that have a love of learning and academia to visit such a university sometime in your lives. The walls and hallways and the buildings just ooze with century of knowledge and culture. Notwithstanding these experiences, possibly the most demanding university I have been to is one conducted in a small piazza, Piazza San Vito, in a small northern Italian town of Treviso. I lived there and played rugby for Benetton Treviso for 5 years. In fact, I still live there with my wife Isabella and son, 20-month-old son Lewis, who are here with me today. The Chancellor of the university is Paolo Busia. Busia is not his real name, it's a nickname, and literally translated it means liar. He was a journalist and sports writer, it seems some professions are worldwide, who now runs the local newspaper stall within the square. The piazza is where the rugby intelligentsia of the town meet, particularly on a Monday morning after a weekend match, and where the players receive our mark for the weekend's performance. I'm sure all the graduates in front of me here know what I'm talking about. Distinction, credit, pass minus, or the dreaded show cause why you shouldn't be cancelled and sent home. I nicknamed it the University of Rugby. Every one of its faculty were absolute experts and never ever wrong, not only about rugby but anything. I'm not sure what my grade point average is from that university, but I know I haven't received any parchment in hand just yet. I'm delighted to find out that much greater wisdom resides at Griffith University, in that they have recognised your academic brilliance and my efforts in rugby here today. In closing, I wish to remind you of what lies ahead for both you and me. The essences of what I have learnt about achievement so far on my journey is that my mission in life is about me growing and maturing, developing my talents and skills, acquiring knowledge and know-how, striving to be both sensible and wise, in that way realising the abilities I was born with and becoming a fully functioning, competent person. And I learnt that this is done through embracing challenge. All achievers I know love challenges, and often the more difficult, the better. For challenges demand that we dig deeper into ourselves, tax our resources, develop self-discipline, courage, mental strength, and self-belief, and all those qualities that make us more than what we were yesterday and the day before that. Achievement is a process of challenge, of dreams, of commitment, of self-discipline, of persistence and self-belief. The sort of process that brought you here today, parchment in hand, and that lies ahead of you tomorrow and for the rest of your lives. A sincere thank you to the University for the honour you have bestowed on me, and best wishes to you all for the journey ahead of you, especially the graduates. Thank you very much.